Hello, everyone, and welcome to AC Publishing. And my name is Laleh Hancock. Today, I have one of our books that create change authors. And this is Rudrani Devi with her magical book called Choosing Happiness. So, welcome, Rudrani.
Hello. How are you doing, Laleh? It's been a minute, hasn't it?
It has. It has. So many things going on around the globe. And I'm so excited to actually talk about your book. Tell me, just like quickie, when was the book published?
Oh my gosh.
Do you recall?
2019.
Okay, cool. So it's had, it's lived 8 years out in the world already,
Isn't that crazy?
and it's in multiple languages.
Eight
Yeah,
languages
so
and
cool.
two more pending, actually. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. It's funny because I want to read a piece that is in the book, but I'm gonna wait until we talk about it because the story, like choosing happiness, and then the story that brought you to actually create this book
Mm,
is pretty unique.
a
Do
little
you want to
different.
take, yeah, do you want to take just like a couple of minutes and just maybe
Sure.
talk about what brought up even creating this book?
Well, it was a couple of things, actually. I was facilitating bars. I was just beginning to become an AC, right? Or access consciousness facilitator. And what had happened is I had written two books prior, and I was on a book tour. And after we, do our little spiel, there's a Q&A. And this kid comes up to the microphone, and I don't know, maybe he's 12, 13 years old, out of the mouth of babes. And he's like, "Lady, what is your problem?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Why are you so happy? I mean, you're in India, you get shot by terrorists, your husband leaves you, you had to close down your business, and yet you're laughing through this whole thing. What's the doggone deal?" And I said, "Well, I had these 10 amazing tools that helped me navigate my life through all that tragedy, right?" And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, I've heard Gary say this many times, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, y'all. And he would say, "You guys need to stop trying to explain what Access Consciousness is because y'all sound like a bunch of idiots." And I thought, yeah, I need to help those boys out. So I thought, I'm going to write a book that's access friendly to the world, not just to Access Consciousness readers in that family, because we all have a tendency to do this access speak, and it sounds like we're all robots sometimes. So I went ahead and threw myself under the bus a few times, showing the 10 keys to total freedom, Rudrani style, right? And in each of these 10 tools, I give a little storyline because I'm a storyteller just like Gary Douglas is. I learn things a lot easier when somebody gives me an example. So that's how this book was born. And I dedicated it to the two guys. This book is dedicated to my phenomenal friends, Gary and Dr. Dane, co founders of Access Consciousness. I'm so very grateful to have you both in my universe. How did I get so lucky?
Yeah. Well, Johnny, I wanted you to talk a little bit about the trauma and drama too, because that's what inspired it. I like,
Well,
okay,
that's true.
you,
That's
y-
you want me to,
like um, traveling around the world, I meet a lot of different kinds of people, and your your opening of the book talks about it. Like just even the description of it. Um,
yes,
you
that's true.
say happiness being a choice is completely foreign concept in the world.
Mhm.
Certainly happiness is simply a byproduct of money. That perfect relationship and easy life or whatever else you have attributed it to be. But what if we have it backwards? What if it's all the things that you think will create happiness are actually byproducts of the big, bold, different choice to be happy just because? And like for example, you were in a marathon in India? Is that
Oh no, I was actually on a meditation retreat.
okay?
We had just been, there were these Brahmin priests and they do that, I can't even do it, that guttural thing. So I was high as a kite because we had been going from ashram to ashram and we were getting ready to do several days of silence. And so we had come back from all of that and we were in a restaurant and these two boys dressed in Arsenal, one was wearing a Nike hat, I remember, and he had like, Arsenal strapped on him. It's, automatic machine gun fire, those kinds of guns where you just put the cartridge in and it knocks them all down, right? And I only was able to identify them because, y'all, they came in shooting indiscriminately. I got shot even though I managed to get under a table. And I probably would be dead if it wasn't for the fact that that table was this thick wood and the bullets had to go through the wood before they went in and through my leg and my arm. So I had my tricep was shot out over here, and then my femur was shot, and I couldn't move. I was left for dead, floated in and out of my body a few times. I just assumed I was dead, and that's when I saw the terrorists, and I was able to identify them later. Obviously, I lived to the FBI people that were trying to figure it out. I even identified the grenade that was thrown and was like this close to my face that didn't go off. It's ticking, but it was a dud. So it never, they're supposed to go off on impact, y'all. So yeah, that's a crazy story. And I remembered specifically, once I got out of there and got home and started rehabilitating, I thought, where is that crazy statement? Where is that crazy statement? Right, wrong, good, bad, that one. Which, if you're in Access, you'll get it. I'm just going to say pod and pock at the time being, save time. But I was like, where is that thing? And I went through my filing cabinet because, of course, I file everything because I'm that person. And I saw, oh, it's the clearing statement. It's the clearing statement. I thought, I wonder whatever happened to those crazy people. Because I remember going to a friend of mine's house, Kent Blasey, and he says, you got to hear my friend. He's channeling, blah, blah, blah. And it was Gary Douglas, y'all. And there he was in a trance, and I'm like, this, that's where I got it. It was like 3 pages long. And Dr. Dane here was there as well, but he was just Dr. Dane. He wasn't the co-founder yet. So, everything used to take place in Nashville, Tennessee, where I live. But anyway, I found it and then I got online because now we've got the internets, and I'm looking it up and I'm like, oh my goddess, someone's teaching that bars class just down the road from me, and I'd been training for the Boston again and had broken my ankle. So I couldn't go. And that was the year that the terrorist attack happened. So, everything, what's right about this, I'm not getting. Well, that was the reason why I had to break my ankle, jumping out of the way of a car while I was running that didn't see me. I thought, what a great way to die after surviving get hit by a car. That would be crazy. But anyway, I thought, okay, when that kid asked that question, I was like, you know what? I had the tools that got me through this. Damn good tools. So I did. I took bars. I took level 1 and 2 before it was 3 and 4 became foundation. And that's kind of the rest of the story. I think this thing kind of saved my life, because a lot of people that were also in that same, because we were all there from the States. There were a few of us under the table. Everybody else was in their hotel rooms and it was jacked. They couldn't get out for like 4 days because those guys were going from door to door and indiscriminately killing people again. And they never got over it. I mean, they didn't have what I had, which were these amazing freaking tools. So I thought, what a gift these guys have been for me. What a gift these tools have been. I'm going to create a way for the rest of the world to have it. And for those people that don't know how to articulate access consciousness, they can say, you think I belong to a cult? Here. Do you want to know more about it? Read this here book. It'll tell you the rest of the story.
Well, two people can look at the same thing at the same moment and have totally different responses, different perspectives. And I just kudos to you for, crazy lady.
I know.
Here you are. Here you are, having that rehab to go through and then asking for more, asking for what else is possible, asking for, hey, I know that tool is somewhere, and that reach for it itself. And so many don't even know that there's a tool out there, don't even know, right?
They don't know it's a
But
choice. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, but I love the way you titled this particular book. I'm not sure if anyone helped you with the title, or was it something you picked
No,
yourself?
I came up with it because I realized that when I did talk about the tools, people didn't really understand them. And, they're like, you're weird. That's is not how this world works. And I thought, yeah, because it's an uncommon way to think. We're not taught to think that way. And that's where it came from. And,
Yeah.
so I'm coined as the happiness lady. Rudrani Devi, the happiness lady. And it all came from this little yellow book.
I
Someone just
love
one day said it and it stuck. And I
it.
still hashtag myself that way, anytime I do any kind of social media kind of stuff, because it doesn't make sense for someone who's been through everything I've been through. I mean, I even had to take my ex to court. He started a family with somebody else while I was in the wheelchair. The only way he gave me the divorce was because he had a child, and he had to commit to that. And then he started stalking me. you know, so I took him to court because I thought, well, the woman that he ended up marrying was a woman that was cheating on me, or he was cheating on me with. And I wanted her to know, hey, there's a scoundrel. And then I thought, oh, I don't care. But I took him to court anyway because I wanted to send a very loud and clear message. And even the people in the courtroom were like, he's like scared as shit, because you could hear his foot go, why are you so cool? And I'm like, you know, I'm hard to get over. I get it. Whatever. But it's those tools. It's those tools that got me through, really and truly. Even that. And now everything in my life does come to me with ease and joy and glory. Even the crappy shit is ease and joy and glory, because I know that that's just the next step to something greater.
Yeah.
Make sense?
And you're a singer, you're an entertainer, you have been in movies, like
Oh my gosh.
you've had a pretty awesome career that I would say, not even career, life. You're creating
It's
your
not
life,
it's not a job.
choosing happiness.
Yeah.
Like that is what it's all about. It's not just about a tool and a book. It's
Mhm.
like those tools are there to be an extra contribution to
Mhm.
what might contribute to you having more choices,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? The first part of the book, you have a quote from Gary Douglas.
Oh yeah, I love that quote.
What would it be like if you embodied so much consciousness in everything that you did that others chose to become more conscious as a result of you? What if you were the inspiration for greater possibility? All it takes is for you to choose you.
Mhm.
Gary Douglas. And I've seen this quote in a lot of different places, and it's like each time it invites me to look at things different too, because so often we've put even the word consciousness in it's in a box, where actually consciousness is inclusion of everything without the judgment. Your willingness to take your ex-husband to court without judging him, but hey, it didn't work what he was creating for you.
Mhm.
The situation with the injuries. Hey, you know what? The injuries occurred. Now what?
Right.
How can I allow me to be able to thrive and then empower others to know
Mhm.
something else is out there?
Yeah. A lot of folks give up when it's at that point. I was told I would never walk again. And I'm
Right.
like, that's the best challenge for me. Tell me I cannot do something. The
Mhm.
same thing with going back to my acting career. I was a child actor model. I was in a lot of Little Miss pageants, all the things. The shutdown kind of happened. I was kind of doing that on the side, but I also had my own healing business, and I'm also a therapist. And I thought, okay, I can't travel. What am I going to do? And it's like, what else is possible? The minute those words slip out of my mouth, you guys, it's like the universe is throwing me choices. And if one excites me, it's like when Laleh was reading that quote. My body got chills again because it knows it's true. When my body wakes up and does shit like that, y'all, I listen because it happy. It like, girl, you need to go in that direction because that's going to create for you. If nothing else, we're going to have fun. Even if it looks crappy, do it anyway. It was like, it was light for me to take that son of a bitch to court. It was light. I knew it was going to create something. I didn't know what. I still don't know what it created, you know? Well, it certainly created a very clear message to hymns to quit showing up at my gigs and hiding in a corner, you know, all that stuff. And it's crazy. So even my friends were telling me, Laleh, you know, you're getting kind of old, lady. Why don't you just settle down again? Why are you doing this acting thing? Why don't you retire? And it's because it's fun for me. It's fun for me. I got my first episodic series that's going to be on TV. Shoots in Atlanta during my 45th high school reunion. 45th high school reunion, y'all. 45th. But I can't go because I took this leading role. You know, it's a leading support role where I'm going to be Billie Jean Haskins, I think. Yeah. And it's funny because I did the audition. They said, can you do it with a Southern accent? I said, can I do it with a Southern accent? I said, do you want Nashville or do you want North Carolina? And they were like, do North Carolina. I was like, all right. So I read with the director. You do a self-tape, and then they have you read some other lines. And then the third is when you have because now everything's changed because of COVID, you do it on Zoom. So I'm having opportunities all over the place. They even wrote a part for me in a movie that is shooting in New York. Can you believe it? And it's got like a top person, like a Tom Hanks. It's not Tom Hanks, y'all. They won't tell me because they know I got a big mouth, and I'll tell people. So you can't let the cat out of the bag until the bag in the theater. Feel me? Plus, I am going to do New York Runway again, and I'm going to Model and Talent Expo the beginning of next month. And guess who? Cool. Guess who's going to be tap dancing? Me. I'm going to do a tap number to one of my own songs.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Well, again, kudos to you. Kudos to your journey that you chose. You know, it's that each of us have that power to say, hey, you know what? Today, I'm going to get out of bed. Today, I'm going to ask what else is possible. Today, I'm going to talk to somebody I didn't talk to. Do something different that allows you to have a different result, different outcome, you know, and never giving up. I mean, Rudrani, I adore you. That's the thing. And that's the piece that I always got. The tools are incredible. The tools you have in this book are the 10 keys to total freedom. Yes, things nobody taught us in school, in college, in life, but tools that we should have been given at birth.
Indeed. Indeed. You know? This should be mandatory reading the minute you can actually read. You know what I'm saying? It really should be. And that thing where you said never give up, that's my mantra. I mean, I say two things, all the time. The first thing in the morning, who or what am I today, and what glorious and grand adventure are me and this fabulous body going to have? Because you got to include the body. The body's smarter than you are, y'all. You stupid body know what's going on. True story. So there's that. And then there's never give up, never give in, never quit. And, I think Gary did a whole call on that once. And it was like, that's me. Nobody can tell me I can't. You can't tell me I'm never going to walk again, mother. You know what? What do you think? Who are you dealing with? The happiness lady. Are you out of your mind? Obviously.
Yep, they are. Obviously, they are.
Laleh's known me for a long time, and I don't give up. It was like when I wanted to teach gaslighting classes, and they were like, no, only Gary gets to teach those. And I was like, but I've been gaslighting. I know intimately what gaslighting about, and he's taught me so much about all of that. And so they were like, you're never gonna be certified, and I was. So there y'all.
Well, your book is in 8 languages. Do you want to talk about which languages they are?
Oh my gosh, and I only have 3 of them here. I never got to the other countries to get them. Let's see. So we've got English, we have Portuguese, we have Spanish, we have Arabic. Can you believe that the people in Arabia want to be happy? I thought that's got to be a joke. It's in Chinese. it's still waiting to be published in German and Italian. It's
What about
Italian. They're so
French?
lazy they won't finish it. Why can't I think off the top of my head? Oh, Turkish
Okay.
and one more.
Do you have Russian?
Yes, and Russian. Good for you, girl.
I
You pulled that out of
remember.
your ass. I mean, somewhere. Came from somewhere. I'm not trying to be, it's just that there's so much light that I have to have the thing on or I can't even see. So I'm wearing my howdy, howdy, howdy hat. Because
Awesome.
howdy from
Awesome.
Nashville, y'all. That's when I saw this hat, I had to have it because I always say, howdy from Nashville. Rudrani Devi, the happiness lady here. We're going to talk
Well,
10 keys. What's your favorite tool? Do you have a
you know,
favorite?
there's like so many, but one that I'd say has been my number one tool is 10-second increments.
Oh, yes.
Like literally every 10 seconds, I'm like, okay, if I have 10 seconds to live the rest of my life, what do I choose? And it's so interesting. Like, for example, I'm in Sardinia, never been here before.
It's
I was going
beautiful,
to
isn't
the
it?
US. Yeah, I was going to the US, and my body said no. And I didn't know where we were going. I literally opened up Google Earth
Mhm.
and started asking questions and then went to sleep. And the next morning, I'm
Like
like,
me,
body,
man.
where are we going? But this is the story of my life. This happens. Like, this is like a normal in my world, you know?
Yeah.
But the 10-second, because we're so fixated on whatever's going on, things that are amazing, things that suck. And then that 10-second allows a spherical opening
Mhm.
to no longer fixate, but to actually now really explore what are the infinite possibilities
Indeed.
and relax,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, that's the piece I love that you just said, and relax, because it gives you permission to let all the shit go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, my cells literally when I get excited first because I'm like, okay, we're gonna go in that direction. And then I know that in those 10 seconds, it's exactly where I need to be, and my whole body just relaxes.
Yeah.
And maybe it needs to be there in the next 10 seconds or the next 10 seconds, or maybe, the next 10 days in every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I relax because I know, for example, I was in a music video yesterday and I was wearing all pink. Y'all can't even imagine, right? The pink tick the ass heels. And all I was supposed to be was a background person at a wedding, right? Well, there ain't nothing background about this girl at all. I show up in my pink, and all of a sudden I'm in primary background. Like the camera is coming, and okay, so now you need to be shocked, and now you need to be, and he's like, 10 out of 10. He's pointing to me, and I'm going to put you over here now. And, da, 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 da. And I'm like, that was like one of the principles. Now there's no lines, and I did it for free, but I was told by my body, because I had said to myself, well, I'm not going to do any more freebies because I've got my reels are done. I'm going to be in all these different productions. I don't need, I've already been an action hero now. I was Gam Gam with a loaded gun, getting ready to kill Sasquatch. I mean, it's been a wild journey since I've seen you, girlfriend, and all of a sudden, so what did I end up doing? Well, I made a contact at one of the places to sing at now, one of our locations. Found out they knew a lot of the same people I did. 3 of the girls that were there, I hooked them up with my mother agent because they want to be models and actresses. I got to the guy we did the video for is a pop singer, and he likes to write with people. So I made all these connections. That's worth a lot more than $500 in my pocket, which is my day rate at this point. That's the very least you're going to get me for. And I went for free, and I met some really great people that I think
That's choosing happiness.
yes. Sometimes it's not about the money, honey. Sometimes what you created worth way a lot more than the money. And that's what you were reading in the book. That's exactly what I meant. So we think that it has to be like that. I barter with a lot of people when it comes to like bars, trading bars for other things. I've got a physical therapist that we're 2 of them actually that are phenomenal. Phenomenal. My body loved them people, So anyway, yeah, you guys, if you can get out of your interesting points of view about what this reality has brainwashed you to believe is real and true for you, and ask what really is real and true for you and let your body get involved, you'd be surprised at how different your life is going to be. Surprised. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember one time when I was on these dating apps, like, and this is a funny one because I also taught relationship done different. And they basically, it was this guy that just kept popping up in my feed. And I always got, no, no, Gary had me get on the dating sites. He goes, how's it going for you? And I said, well, I swipe left a lot more than I swipe right. And he goes, well, how have the dates been going? I'm like, dates? You actually want me to go out with these jokers? So there was this one guy. I mean, I kept swiping left, but he kept popping up in my feed because he kept trying to want to, So I finally, it was light for me to go. And he was like 20 years younger, but you know me, cradle robber is what this reality calls it. They're so funny because, the guys my age cannot keep up with me. Anyway, I go there. He's fit, whatever. And, but I can tell already this is just not going to work out. And he's getting a little handsy and all this stuff. And right when, we're sharing Facebook stuff on the phones and everything. And one time I'm looking down and it says, your book is now in Portuguese. And I went, ah! Just like that. He goes, what are you so excited about? I said, my book is now speaking Portuguese, which was the second book. And he goes, well, what's your book about? And so I started to tell him. And he got all mad at me. What do you mean it's a choice? People can choose happiness. He goes, what about the people that are, that can't afford to feed their kids? And then I said, well, why don't you have a conversation with Miss Oprah? She found her way out of being homeless, And then, and then he just kept egging me. And he's getting louder and louder. I said, okay, I'm going to spill the beans. I said, if there's anybody that shouldn't be happy, it should be me. And I tell him the backstory. So then he gets really soft again, but handsy. Get off me. But, oh, I'm so sorry. And then it comes back around to the conversation about the happiness part. And, and I'm like, he's screaming at me. Who do you think you are putting a book like that out there in the world? That's just cruel. And I said, well, interesting point of view. You got that point of view, but, and you're allowed to have it. So then I got up and I put on my leather jacket because I was fine. I mean, my nails did, my hair was blown straight. There's still color in it. And everybody's like looking at us now because he's getting really loud. I said, I can appreciate how excitable you are about this topic. And this conversation has been a real eye-opener for me because it showed me that, I am willing to choose to be myself no matter who in my face. And that you. But you know what? I think I'm done with you for now. Probably forever. Thank you so much for the drink and for the wings. Ciao, ciao for now. And I grabbed my leftovers because I wasn't finished, y'all. I'm going home and finish eating my wings. And I got in my car and I'm laughing with joy. And at the time I had Coco was my car. That was when I had an Audi. Right now I've got a Mercedes Bianca. But so here I am and I get in, I go, Coco, oh my goddess, girl. This was the best date ever because I chose me over that loser. And the thing is when I was walking out, people was applauding. Right?
You were choosing happiness.
I was choosing for me.
You were choosing for you.
Never shows up the way you think it's gonna, right?
Yeah.
But it was
so awesome. Rudrani, you're amazing. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for choosing happiness every single day and putting it out there so that others know there's another possibility. Yeah. And you guys, if you guys don't have the book already, you can go to acpublishing.com and be able to get it. If you'd like to get it for your friends, your family, the holidays, you can also buy 10 or more. Yeah. And yep.
That's what my hair looked like, y'all. It's not usually under a hat, but I thought this conversation was going to be an hour later. So we did the best we could. We plaited the hair, We do what we do.
Hey, that's a 10-second, girl. You were being 10-second.
I sure enough was.
Thank you, Rudrani, and thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching in the future. And let us know, what tool was your favorite tool? What are you playing with? This is already in 8 languages. We'll have, like you said, there's 2 more languages coming eventually.
Yes. Sorry.
And what else is possible from here? Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey. It's always a joy. I'm
Anytime.
so happy to see your sweet face. I
Awesome.
can't wait to squeeze you again. You got to come to Nashville.
There
She
you
stayed in my
go.
house, y'all. She stayed in my house. So
We had so much fun.
we
All
did.
right.
We did
Big
too.
hugs, and we'll
Mm.
see you soon. Bye
Ciao,
bye.
ciao for now, y'all.